Sniperwolf is one of those content creators that just seems to always have controversies going on around her, and most recently there's been a little feud between her and Jack's Films. They've had this drama over her React content, if you can even call it that. He's just calling her out for doing exactly what she does in her content. She sits there and looks pretty and just describes what's going on in the TikTok. Like, yeah, I can see that. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Appreciate you. But then, on top of that, she's now getting a lawsuit filed against her over her content. And this lawsuit is being filed by her now ex-husband that goes by Sausage, because he apparently was the one behind the scenes pulling all the puppet strings and basically puppeteering Sniperwolf herself. He claims that he was the one that has been curating and scripting all of her content for a very long time now. But let's take a trip to the past real quick before I get into the lawsuit and the drama that's currently happening. If you just go on YouTube and search Sniperwolf faking gameplay, there have been exposing Sniperwolf for fake gameplay videos for like 8 years ago, where they're just going through her gameplay and showing how she fails to act like a real gamer and that she's faking the gameplay. And it turns out that was true, because up until now it was just heavily speculated that that's what she was doing. But now in this lawsuit, it has came out and been confirmed that Sausage is the one who was recording the gameplay, and she was just reading a script and talking over top of the gameplay. And apparently she's now doing that over the TikToks as well. And it's to the point where she wasn't even allegedly, I don't know if it's confirmed, but to the point where she allegedly wasn't even reacting to the TikToks. She was just reading off a script that summarized the TikToks and talked about talking points that she wanted to say after each one of the TikToks, which is a whole nother level and just feels like way more effort than actually reacting to a TikTok, you know? But regardless, that's not the only controversy from her past, because her and Sausage were both arrested for apparently armed robbery, and this is like one of their 3 arrests that they've both had. But this was back on 2013, this one specifically, the armed robbery charges, where you can see right here they both have their mugshots. Aaliyah Shalish and Evan John Young both have the same charge of armed robbery. And you know that your controversies and your dramas have to be really bad for people to just never bring this armed robbery charge up when they talk about you being a bad person. Because there's also yet another one that happened not too long ago over Sniperwolf and a young fan that had cancer and wanted to talk to Sniperwolf because she was her hero. You can see the messages here of them going back and forth, and basically it ended up getting to the point where Sniperwolf just ghosted her and basically said she was too busy to talk to this little girl. And you can see in this message, it's absolutely heartbreaking. She said, "We can keep trying, but my day's usually very busy." And then just to cherry pick from this little paragraph here, the mom, I'm assuming this is who this is, says, "It's okay, she's dying and literally has days to live. I just tried to make my daughter's last wishes happen. You shouldn't have even reached out, because then I could have just told Kiera we tried. I told you, you messaged, I told her you wanted to say hi, and instead you blew off a dying 10-year-old girl for days. It's all good." That is just some heartbreaking stuff, and it'll bring a tear to even the hardest of the hardest person inside of the Salty Spittoon. And now we can get to the modern controversy, the big drama that's currently happening, which is the Jack's Film stuff, as well as the lawsuit that kind of builds upon the Jack's Film stuff in a way. So you can just read the headline here of this article. It says the YouTuber's estranged husband is suing the creator for breach of contract and financial misdoings related to her channel. And there are court documents that are floating out and about over this situation. I don't have access to the full document. I've only been able to grab certain screenshots of certain parts of the lawsuit. I don't know where the other people are getting it from, but this is the only screenshot I have of the actual court document. It says, most notably, the gameplay footage depicted on the Sniperwolf YouTube channel was played and recorded by Young, while Shalish merely read and reacted to the gameplay according to those certain concepts and scripts prepared by Young. But this is the part of the lawsuit that confirms that she was faking that gameplay back in the day when people said she was faking it, which then builds in and leads into her doing that same exact thing, but just with TikToks. He was curating the TikToks and writing the scripts, and she's just the pretty face to draw in viewers and make them want to watch, I guess. But also in the court filings, we find out that they are both 50% members and managers of the channel Red, which underneath the channel Red umbrella has the channel Sssniperwolf, but also Young's channel, which is Mr. Sausage Boy, and then also Sssniperwolf's personal channel, Little Leah. And out of those 3 channels, the only one that's still active is, of course, Sssniperwolf's main channel, which is really what this whole thing's all about. The other 2 channels don't really matter, but this all came to a head. It all began, the whole lawsuit was filed whenever they first got divorced in late 2022. And them splitting up was confirmed whenever she responded to this meme here saying, "I still don't know how he pulled her." And she said, well, after 9 years, things didn't work out. So they were confirmed to be split up. If, you know, them filing for divorce wasn't enough, it was posted on Twitter, so that's how you know it's legitimate. When they post about being broken up on Twitter, that's when it becomes official. But this whole lawsuit was filed in the first place because after they split up, I'm going to keep referring to him as Sausage and not by his real name, by the way. So Sausage said that Sssniperwolf created new channels to divert the earnings to herself, and he's also accusing her of taking hard drives and phones that belonged to Channel Red and refusing to give them back to him. And basically this whole thing just boils down to they were splitting the revenue from these channels all throughout their relationship, but once they got divorced, they stopped splitting it. She's trying to hoard all the money for herself, and he's suing her for what he believes is rightfully his, which, if everything is as it is, he was scripting everything, you know, curating everything, and it was a joint effort 50-50, then he absolutely has a right to 50% of the money still. Up until the point that he, you know, quit helping her, because I'm assuming that they're still not working together as business partners since they divorced and they're not together anymore. It would be kind of strange. There would be a bit of awkwardness in the room, I would say. So I would assume they went their separate ways, and he is just wanting the money that he's owed since the split up. And also in the lawsuit, he brings up that the Sssniperwolf channel was a joint venture and claims that when they created the YouTube account, they used a combination of personal information between the 2 of them, which would definitely cement that as a joint effort. And here's a direct quote from these court filings. It says, while Shalish was the face of the Sssniperwolf YouTube channel, Young is and was at all times heavily involved in the creative content and operations, the court documents read, including but not limited to concept origination and development, script writing, directing, video editing, posting finished videos to the channel, and market research and analysis, among other things. So he's basically saying that he did absolutely everything. He was like Atlas, carrying everything on his back, and she was just the face of the channel, what people wanted to click on. And he claimed that he and Sssniperwolf entered this agreement back in 2013, 10 years ago, to split the revenue, and their channels continued to do so until September of 2022 when they broke up. And in total, there are 7 claims that are being brought up against Sssniperwolf that include the breach of fiduciary, it's such a stupid word, fiduciary duty, breach of contract, interference with contractual relations, and business expectancy, and more. And that's pretty much the lawsuit summed up. That's the meat and potatoes of it. Sausage, her ex-husband, is suing her over her trying to lock him out of their business partnership that they had, and he's trying to get the money that he feels he's rightfully owed. The big takeaways from the lawsuit is that she has been faking content, and she is still continuing to fake content to this very day. That was the big bombshells from this lawsuit. People speculated over almost a decade ago that she was faking gameplay videos. Turns out she was. I remember that was a huge drama back then. It was one of the big controversies that I was wrapped up in for a little bit with my young YouTube self, watching those videos back in the day. And then also, on top of that, she is still doing it to this very day, but with TikToks, which I gotta say, has to be more effort than actually reacting. I know I said that again, or said that before, but I'm saying it again because it has to be, right? But now, this takes us into the whole Jax Films controversy, where her and him are kind of just butting heads over her reaction content. So now we're transitioning over into the part 2 of this video, because I don't feel like separating this into 2 things, and I'm just kind of rambling the whole time. I don't know if this is even making any sense whatsoever. But from what I'm understanding from the articles I've read and whatnot, this all started when Sssniperwolf and her then still together partner that hadn't sued her yet, Sausage, purchased a $7 million home in Arizona. And then Jax Films made a video called Sssniperwolf in October of 2022, where he announced he's making a second channel called Jax Films that was inspired by her reaction content. And then I asked if the audience could help him get a mansion too.
Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Jax Films, and today we're gonna watch TikToks that'll give you a tummy ache.
To write out your mom a hoe.
And as you can tell by looking at this channel, it's a clear inspiration for from Sssniperwolf. And it's so funny that this is it's so unbelievably funny. It's such an amazing thing. I'm so glad he did this. It's imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. That's what they say, right? But this right here is just, he's calling her out without even really calling her out, which she didn't take too kindly to. She kind of found it a little bit insulting. It kind of, she doesn't have any balls, but it hit her right where it hurts. And then the drama kind of kicked it up a notch whenever YouTube creators put out this tweet and said, where does Sssniperwolf get videos ideas from? Video ideas, question mark, from fans. Here's what she had to say at VidCon AN23. Quote, it's really important for me to engage with my audience. I get a lot of content ideas from them in the comments. It's important to grow and adapt as a creator. So Jack responded to that tweet from YouTube creators by putting this image right here. And he put the cool glasses with a thumbs up and a heart. And then Sssniperwolf decided that she had to respond, so she responded to that tweet of his response to a tweet. It's tweetception here. And she said, I'm going to have to start charging you 20% since you get your ideas from me. Smirky mouth. And that's really ironic, saying that she's going to start charging him 20% for stealing ideas from her, when her whole, literally her content is stealing other people's ideas and other people's content. Most of it TikToks, pretty much all of it is TikToks. Some of it's Darman stuff. But she takes other people's TikToks, doesn't credit them, doesn't give them 20% or anything like that. She just takes it, yoinks it, says it's mine now, and she reaps all the benefits. You just always love to see a YouTuber have a lack of self-awareness of what they're doing and just the whole situation in general. But then after that, because this keeps going, baby, this drama train ain't stopping anytime soon. She responded to some tweets. I don't really know what they said, but it was basically about the situation, calling her out for exactly what she's doing. And she says, 90% of what I upload are my ideas. People copy me, and then people like you get confused. And then she posted this right here, where random acts of kindness. She posted it 2 years ago. Mr. Beast did it 1 year ago. Now, who's to say if she changed the thumbnail after Mr. Beast used that thumbnail, or if, you know, reaction channels kind of just use the same content anyway, so it's really not all that surprising that they have similarities in their thumbnails, because reaction channels all kind of suck, and they all just kind of human centipede off one another and just watch the same content that they're all stealing together. And then Jax Films responded to what she said about coming up with her own ideas. He said, quote, I invented reacting to other people's TikToks. Anyone else is copying me. Incredible mental gymnastics. Hey YouTube, VidCon, you sure you're okay boosting her? And then she responded and said, wah, I can't stand that a female YouTuber is getting more views than me, even though I make the same content. Grr, life is hard. She doesn't... It's just such a lack of self-awareness right there. But she is just exceptionally deluded in her belief system if she thinks that what she's doing is original content and that anyone who does reaction content is stealing her ideas. Because she invented taking other people's TikToks and uploading that with minimal reaction. That's her content, and if you do that, you're stealing from her. And I also think that her bringing in gender into this is very dumb, because he never once ever brought up the gender argument. That's not one thing he's ever talked about. He is making fun of you and thinks you're a bad person because of your content specifically. No other reason besides your content. There was even a video he made where you literally added in someone's TikTok and your face, your reaction wasn't even there. It was literally just a TikTok, a full TikTok that you ripped and threw in a video with no reaction at all. Which is literally just freebooting, what he calls freebooting. I don't know if he made up that word or whatever, but she literally injected a video, a TikTok, with no reaction. I don't know if she forgot to add the reaction in, but that right there was insane when I saw it. And now if you want to hear my take on this whole thing, I'm sure you're going to click off because what do you care about what some country loser has to say? My whole take is that Sssniperwolf thinks that since she's getting like millions of views, like she's very successful obviously still with her content, even though she's just, you know, still whatever. She's very successful still. Her reaction content gets a lot of views. So she's deluded herself and started thinking this way very delusionally, that she is somehow making good content because it gets a lot of views. I think she unironically has the mindset that the more views you get, the better person you are. Like, that's her way of thinking about content. She thinks the bigger the number, the better the person.
Hello friends, it's me. And today we are checking out some cool things that I learned on TikTok. This is how they move camels.
I hate when she does that too. I've seen this when I was watching Jack's film stuff. She'll try to like rephrase the caption on the screen and make it seem like she's coming up with that original line. How they move camels. She said, this is how they move camels.
They took him down the zip line. He going for the ride of his life.
They took him down a zip, really? That's what that is. Oh.
They even got a little helmet on him. Nah, do they got a blindfold on him too? Oh, I bet he's terrified. Just cover his eyes so he doesn't panic. You know, I feel like he's going for a little ride. What if he has no idea what he's about to go through? Actually, they got him in there pretty good. He's not even like kicking around. He chill. He probably done this a million times. Walking is not an option. Well, we just gonna slide him down.
Okay, I gotta click off. My brain just melted. My brain is gone. Brain is not braining anymore. Anyways, that's pretty much all I care to talk about regarding everything now. The lawsuit and then her and Jack's film's little drama. Dear God, man, this took a lot. I've been staring at this screen all day trying to read up on this stuff to make sure I'm talking about every point I wanted to get across. My eyes are burning into this screen. I'm gonna go watch a scary movie or something, just decompress, do something else. I'm sweating my taint off. My balls are very stinky right now, definitely, because I'm sweating so bad. Just know that this is probably the most effort I've ever put into any video, so hopefully you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next one.